Welcome to Focus Gaming News, and today we're very pleased to have back with us once more Eman Pulis, founder and CEO of SiGMA. Eman, thank you for joining us again. How are you?
It's a pleasure being with you on this program. I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. I know you've been busy as always. It's been an expansion again for SiGMA this year with the recent SiGMA Balkans CIS. Do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about that expansion? Why this region? Why now?
With pleasure. Well, we've had enough time sitting idle, at least from an events point of view, because of COVID. But now that COVID is letting us work in peace, we decided to go all out, expanding far outside our comfort zone in Europe. We had recently a conference focusing on the CIS and the Balkan region, a show which was originally planned in Kiev, which we, however, relocated to Belgrade, and the feedback has been overwhelming. The first edition, we had over 2,500 delegates, and what made it interesting is that wherever I was looking around, I could hardly recognize folks which I did business before, right? So the mix was truly Balkan, was truly CIS, and I think this show is there to stay, and it will keep growing as we speak. We do have, however, an announcement to make, in the sense that SiGMA Balkans CIS next year will be moving from the city of Belgrade to the city of Limassol here in Cyprus, where I am now based and setting up an office here.
Okay, that is news. So that's a new office there in Cyprus, and the event will be held there as well.
Correct. There is a sizzling network of CIS-based companies in Limassol, and we have been listening to our crowd, to our audience, and I think we have some interesting surprises up our sleeves, which our crowd will be able to witness come September 2023 here in Cyprus.
Excellent. It's a market that a lot of people are watching. It's a market that's been developing rapidly. Do you think now is the time that this event was needed, that the sector was looking for an event to kind of gather around and come together?
Look, I believe so, right? The gaming is truly becoming global. So when I started doing events in 2014, we had companies targeting German-speaking markets, targeting Scandinavian markets, targeting UK markets. This was more or less the DNA that made up most of the SiGMA exhibitors and attendees. Those same exhibitors today, they're looking far outside these comfort zones. They're looking at the CIS markets, they're looking at Asia, and looking at Africa, looking at LATAM, and looking at the North American market. So yes, I think the time is right for a regional conference, not an international conference, but a regional conference focusing on both the CIS and the Balkan region.
Excellent. And of course, it's not long to go until the traditional SiGMA Malta coming up in November. And what can you tell us about this year's event? What are you looking forward to in Malta?
Oh, look, we collected so much feedback. The bigger the conference, the more the feedback you need to work on, right? And following a long marathon of listening, we came up with a number of initiatives that are set to raise the bar once again for SiGMA and Malta come November. First and foremost, we're working closely with our own VC fund, Ikigai Ventures, and we're leaving no stone unturned to invite the most successful VCs and angel investors in this space to come to SiGMA. So something you will see which wasn't as prominent before is the attendance from investors, VCs, also angel investors from outside gaming who are interested in this space, because now you have first world countries like the United States and Canada that are regulating the space. So an interesting movement in that direction. We also have, let's not forget, on top of SiGMA, we have another conference called Affiliate Grand Slam, which brings a fresh bloodline of affiliates to the conference. And we also have AIBC, which is a conference focusing on frontier tech, blockchain, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, DeFi, GameFi, Metaverse, NFTs. So all of that is coming closer and closer to iGaming. And we are at the eye of the storm, in the eye of the storm. And we're seeing this crowd also coming to SiGMA.
SiGMA was very quick to see that link and to begin to focus on the tech side. Is that something you think that initial decision has been kind of justified? Have you sort of seen that play out the way that you expected?
100%. We are still at the early stages. So when we launched our blockchain and crypto and AI conference was way back in 2018. Fast forward 4 years, and we can already see that gaming and emerging tech are coming closer and closer together. I believe in the next 8 years, which is the shelf life of our VC fund, Ikigai Ventures, the next 8 years, you will not be able to separate the two from one another. Why am I saying this? You're going to have virtually all casinos embracing cryptocurrency as a form of payment. And we're not talking about black markets or gray markets. We're talking about regulated markets accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payments. We're going to see peer-to-peer sports betting also taking shape. We're going to see the emergence of casinos on the metaverse. I know our VC fund is already investing in a number of those initiatives. We're going to see a lot happening, right? The use of artificial intelligence to support the player in preventing gambling addiction. So the opportunities are endless, and I'm quite frankly happy to be in a position where with our conferences, we're bringing the two under the same roof to learn and feed off each other.
It certainly seems that SiGMA Malta is going to be a great place to learn more about that for those who are still need to sort of see how that confluence is going to happen. How would you say the mood is at the moment in Malta and the iGaming sector as in general? There's been regulatory changes at the MGA. Do you think they've had any impact on how the sector's viewed, or have things sort of smoothed over now?
Yeah, well, Malta remains still today a heavyweight in iGaming, right? Hundreds of companies are still relocated in Malta. Demand for Maltese license, for the MGA license, is still rampant. So you speak to corporate service providers, you speak to the regulator, they will tell you they are still busy working to acquire new licenses for new operators and new B2B. Malta has an advantage, right? There's a healthy ecosystem of thousands of employees in a 5-mile radius in the SiGMA St. Julian's area. This level of collegiality and networking between those companies you find nowhere else in the world. So any new operator, any new B2B who's aspiring to launch something and find the right talent, you're very likely to find that in Malta, because the environment lends itself very well for business in iGaming. There's also another great advantage. Malta is also at the forefront in regulating new emerging markets, new emerging technology, sorry. So back in 2018, Malta was at the forefront in regulating blockchain technology with its 3 bills. Malta is also at the forefront in attracting companies, not only in esports, but also in artificial intelligence. So it's not just about license, but it's always about, the holistic package. What can Malta put to the table? And quite frankly, I still believe Malta remains very competitive in this regard.
Excellent. Well, we're certainly looking forward to seeing what comes out of the event in Malta in just 2 months' time. Thank you, of course, as always, for joining us to tell us a little bit about what's happening. Anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Sure. Last couple of comments. We've listened to operators, we've listened to suppliers, we've listened to the regulators, and we're leaving no stone unturned to make sure that this conference exceeds all expectations. We're wining and dining, all expenses paid, 300 of the world's best affiliates. We're not just talking Scandinavian traffic, we're talking traffic from all over the world, whether you're looking for North American or Canadian traffic, or Latin American traffic, or Asian traffic. We know that we have it here at SiGMA. So we know that these affiliates are going to bring scores and hundreds of operators, which in turn I know they're going to bring hundreds of suppliers. So we have literally the whole ecosystem coming to Malta between the 14th and the 18th of November. And I look forward to welcome everyone with arms wide open.
So we look forward to it. Well, Eman Pulis, founder and CEO of SiGMA, thank you again for your time, and we'll speak soon.